I bet you didn't know most of the information in this video. Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm the Monio, the interdimensional demon who talks about Jujutsu Kaisen the most on YouTube, and you're on my channel. Let's get straight to the point, remembering that this video will obviously have spoilers from the manga, but if you're here or you're following the manga, or you've already received all the spoilers possible on social media, then if that's your case, let's get to the facts. So far there are only 4 Jujutsu users who are at a special level. They are Gojo, Yuta, Suguru Geto, and Yuki Tsukumo. In Jujutsu, Yuta is the character who has the greatest amount of cursed energy among all, surpassing even Gojo's energy, so Yuta technically should be the strongest character, but the technique that Gojo uses makes his energy don't run out, while Yuta has the possibility of running out of energy. When asked how Yuta returned to his old power level, the author replied that it only took him 3 months to return to his special level again after Rika's exorcism. Gojo sees through something similar to thermography under the blindfold. It would be something similar to the vision that the Predator has when he is wearing a mask. The author intended to release only Volume 0 of Jujutsu, the one that focuses on Yuta and which later became a film, but his editor told him that the material he had in his hands had a lot of potential, so he decided to continue and delve deeper the universe he had created. If Itadori hadn't become a Jujutsu sorcerer, he would probably be a firefighter, as that was his childhood dream. During his training with Gojo, Itadori watches several famous films such as Leon, The Descent, and The Host. Nanami was originally thought to be a villain who would later be placed in a situation where he would have to help Itadori on some mission, but the author realized that he would need Nanami in some parts of the story, and that's why he entered the story as a Jujutsu sorcerer on the side of good. If Nanami was a villain, he would have killed all the employees at the company where he worked, since he didn't like working there and hates overtime. Yuji's uniform was inspired by Naruto, more specifically the initial uniform, the one with the big collar, which reminds him a little. What do you think? The author had plans to leave Itadori dead after Sukuna ripped out his heart, as Itadori is a character the author doesn't get along with very well, but the possibility of keeping Itadori dead was ruled out after the manga began to be very successful. Nobara's hair is dyed. Despite having a relatively common color, her natural hair color is darker, while Itadori does not use any dye. His hair is actually pink. Gojo used to eat sweets to think better, but this turned into a real addiction, making him a sucker for sweets. The Zenin family exposed Toji to all types of abuse when he was a child. He received his scar when he was young, after the Zenin clan threw him into the disciplinary pit of cursed spirits. When his Shikigami is destroyed, Megumi becomes depressed. People like him are usually sadder about the death of animals than people he doesn't know. Megumi learned hand-to-hand combat from Gojo and Maki, and was also trained to use cursed weapons. The author of Jujutsu compares Tadou to a highly skilled gorilla, as he became a first-grade sorcerer as a student despite coming from a family of non-sorcerers. Mai's sexuality was never confirmed, but it is mentioned in extra volumes that when she interacts with female characters it gets the impression that they are dating. Although many fans really like Satoru Gojo, he is not the most popular. In fact, Suguru is the most popular among the male characters in the work, according to a popularity survey carried out in Japan. Kokichi chose the name of his mecha after the anime he liked most. Yutaheim hates Satoru Gojo on most occasions because of her debauched and confident manner, despite her technically being his senior. Misato often plays video games with Riko, and the game they most often play is Mario Kart. Itadori's name was chosen from the name of one of the author's classmates, as the idea was to give the character a realistic name. Even though he has Sukuna lodged in his body, Itadori can sleep well and can sleep anywhere. Itadori was a good student at school, but he always procrastinated and handed in his work the day before. Gojo was a fan of Digimon in his childhood, and coincidentally his voice actor is also a fan and has worked on Digimon. The word Satoru from his name means achieving a higher perception. Megumi isn't the type to wear elegant clothes. He prefers casual clothes like the kind you would wear at home. Satoru Gojo is so talented that he can do pretty much anything he tries, so he tries not to get too involved in anything, for the sake of the next generation. Nobara's grandmother was already a Jujutsu sorceress and her granddaughter accompanied her on missions. The reason is not known for sure, but Nobara has an extremely high tolerance for pain, which makes her very resilient. Each kanji that forms Nobara's name has a specific meaning. Nail, rose, and wild are some of them. The hammer that is Nobara's main weapon has a heart engraved on it, which she made herself when she was little. The sledgehammer that Nobara uses in episode 17 is a reference to the sledgehammer from the Red Grasshopper. The Zenin family home is based on a famous architecture museum in Tokyo called Kodaku-ryu. The author does not like to place female characters in eki scenes, which are those appealing scenes with exaggerated sensuality and sexual connotations, and according to the author he does not do these things thinking about his parents who will read the manga. Toji Fushiguro does not have a classification because the Jujutsu world has no interest in classifying those physically gifted with heavenly restrictions. Despite his lack of money, Toji Fushiguro managed to acquire expensive curse tools after he left the Zenin family. He got money by taking jobs with private and shady individuals. Gojo has already revealed that his family comes from the lineage of one of the 3 Japanese vengeful spirits. The panda is actually not a panda but one of the many dolls created by the Yaga, but unlike the others, the panda acquired consciousness and autonomy. Itadori, in addition to having almost superhuman strength, is also very fast, being able to run at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Megumi's name is a female name, which is why he grew up thinking that his father hated him for simply giving him a girl's name. In reality, Toji, Megumi's father, considered his son one of the most important things in his life, and that's why he gave him that name, which means blessings. In addition to having great power to manipulate cursed spirits, Suguru Geto is also a specialist in martial arts, being a master in several disciplines. So, did you like the video? I will leave other Jujutsu videos on the final screen. Don't forget to subscribe to see the next ones. Until next time my people, demonic hugs. People who are watching the video, who want to have a chance with this beautiful and wonderful man, subscribe to the channel. Gojo, finally, I would like to ask you, what do you think makes Jujutsu a success, and what is the differential of this anime?
Well, what makes anime successful is me, obviously. Joke. Well, seriously now, I believe Jujutsu is different because of its characters, who don't look like anime characters, but real people.
What do you mean by that? You can explain better?
Imagine Tanjiro, protagonist of Demon Slayer. He is a nice and kind character, but his personality resembles that of an anime character. You will never meet someone who talks or acts like Tanjiro at your work or school. Jujutsu characters aren't like that. They don't look like anime characters, they look like real people you could meet and become friends with. So I believe it creates a very big identification, as everyone will have some character with whom you will identify, or who you think is similar to someone, a friend, a family member, a coworker. I think this is the secret of Jujutsu's success. Characters that are very human with problems and dilemmas that people face identify, even though it is a story with elements of fantasy.